The Mamar V'Yadata explains Tzimtzum, gives a marshal of a Rebbe and a Talmud in order to explain the Tzimtzum, that when the Rebbe is teaching, the Rebbe knows everything, and if he's teaching, he gives everything which he knows, and the Talmud gets nothing. You go and you give these vorts and the Tuma and Taira and Etzilus, and you get nothing. And you can even follow to a certain extent and get some geschmack out of it, but nothing of it is you. Like learning Gemara with Echazar, nothing of it is you. How do you become the Rebbe? Is by you getting it on your level, and therefore the Rebbe needs to mitzvah himself and give over the material as that you can understand it. Because if he gives over just himself, so therefore you have all this stuff, but it's not coming from you, and you can't reproduce it. You don't understand why he says this, and he uses this word, and not that word. You have no idea. So if God gives you himself and just gives the infinity, and you live in infinity here, so therefore you have God. But the Dira B'Tachtonim is where he's living with you, and that you build the house for him, and therefore you can live together. Because if he just comes down and it's just all him, so therefore you're just along for the ride. It's like going on the roller coaster at Disneyland. You're not driving the vehicle, you're just there and you'll go wherever it takes you. If you wanted to slow down, well, tough. So before the siluk, before the light was taken, so then you had the infinity of God everywhere, the aura that was in the world, the experience of God was just in that infinity level, and therefore, even though it's you being in a shiur you don't understand, or that you can't repeat it over. So it's not you, it's him. So you have that infinity, and therefore everything you do is just God, and therefore nothing is too much for you, nothing is difficult. No matter how bad things are, nothing's difficult because it's God that's doing it. You're still sitting in front of the Kisei Kovod with God through all your troubles, so therefore you don't really have any troubles. So he took out that infinity light. Because again, in that infinity light, you can have finity just as much as you can have infinity. But once you have infinity light, since you have them both, so then the infinity is never scary. So meaning that you're never becoming the student. And if you never become the student, therefore you can never become one with God. It's never you, you're just there for the ride. So he takes that out of creation and then puts back in the Kav, and the Kav is this infinity where you live in the physical world but you don't feel God. So he's taken out where you can live in a physical world but God's everywhere, felt, and then takes that out and now puts in where this is the Elokim, that all the physicality doesn't feel like God, and that if I hit you on the head with a baseball bat, you're feeling very far from God and you feel absolutely no godliness in it whatsoever. So in this capacity, so now you can have the experience yourself. Now it can actually be you. Now it can be where you have now the ability to understand on your level. You get to understand life, existence, God, as it fits into your kelim, into your boxes. And then you can become the Rebbe. You can master the material. You can master this world. You can master, and then it's coming from you. It's you that's doing it, and therefore you are building the Dira B'Tachtonim. And therefore, when you build that and you do the mitzvah and you understand it and you have that kli, so therefore it's you and God, and you're driving the train and not just there for the ride. So being in the darkness in this world, facing that darkness and seeing God, being separate, feeling that separateness and making it yourself. It's you that's doing it. So for example, if you want something from your wife, if you tell her this is what I want, then she'll do it. But she's not doing it, she's only doing it because you told her to. She's not doing it because she's doing it. You've turned her into a robot by telling her. And it's not coming from her, it's coming from, oh yeah, I want it, I want to make you happy, so therefore I'll do it because you asked me to. So therefore you can't say what it is. You have to wait for her to do it herself. So who's having that relationship? It's not her having a relationship with you. It's that she's just doing whatever you say. So God has to remove himself from the picture. So it's you that's doing it. Now it's you. I am doing this from my own free will. I'm looking into the Tzimtzum. The void in life is the Tzimtzum where God removed himself, and therefore you look into it, you don't see anything. But really, it's the Atzmius of God that's staring back at you, because the whole world is Hashem ein od movado. So you have in the void is God, but you don't see it because the infinity's been removed from your ability to sense. You don't sense the infinity, but that infinity is staring right back at you, but you see nothing. So now, the choice in which you make is your choice. Whatever choice you make, that's you. You're making that choice. So since you're making that choice, therefore that's you that are in that relationship. I mean, you're the one that's doing it, and therefore when you choose God, and everyone will choose God at some point in their life, then that's you that's doing it. It's you that's making the choice, and therefore you have to have that tzimtzum in order to have that relationship. So in order for there to be basar echad, to be one flesh, it's you and God in unison. And it's not just Him. You're in control, so therefore the kav that comes in has to be according to your seichel. Therefore the shiur that's being given has to be one that you can makabel. So the point of life is to makabel. It's makabel God's shiur. You go to a shiur, you try to understand what's going on. That the shiur is the mashal for life. And in life, you get the shiur, and if you understand the shiur, you do chazar on the shiur, going through the same sins over and over again. You do a chazar in the shiur, and then in the end of the day, you come out, and then it's you, and it's not God, it's you, and then for you and God together, and that's the dirabet tachtainim, and that's the siluk of the or, the siluk of the infinity, because otherwise it would just be God, and then coming back in according to your seichel kav, it's according to the way that you understand. I understand a guy falling into a pit. I understand that. So therefore, my life is the shiur. My life is God teaching me. My life, every moment of my life, is just me and God together in the shiur, and I'm trying to understand it. And then the opposite to this is going to the shiur that I don't get and writing stuff down in a book that I don't understand, and then I have no connection to it. I don't do chazor, and it makes no impact on me. I don't go over the material. Does this really make sense? Do I get what this says? What does this say to me? What's the sugya saying to me? It's just, that's what the rabbi's a big tzaddik, and the big tzaddik, I go to the big tzaddik shiur, and then I do whatever he tells me. That's the complete misunderstanding that you're not going to have the basar echad. That's not what God's looking for. Otherwise, He could have just kept it in the original or put it in the kav, because then you can understand it. And if the kav is just coming in, you're just ignoring the kav, and I said, no, I want to go back to the infinity light, then you're going against the Ratzon Hashem. The Ratzon Hashem is that He wants to be with you, and you're like, no, I just want God. I don't care. I don't matter. I don't need to understand anything. The Torah is not for me. The Torah is for the big rabbi to tell me what it says. So with that attitude, then you're never going to get that basar echad with Hashem. You're going to miss the whole shiur. Again, you go to the mirror and you just write it all down in a book, and you have no idea what the guy said. But yeah, I can pick up a couple of things every now and then. The Ramban says this, but I can't show you where he says it or why he says it. So you go through the whole life, and it says, I got a bit of this, I got a bit of that, but missing the whole word. It's not, and the shiur is going on. It's your shiur, and you just miss the whole point.